That timetable of withdrawal has received some criticism. Lynn here wants to know, what do you think would happen if the U.S. pulled out of the Middle East as proposed by the Democrats?
Well, first of all, what Obama has said is he's going to shift the troops from Iraq to Afghanistan, put 2 divisions in Afghanistan, where Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and terrorists are stronger. Secondly, what we have today is an overstretched military, and it's because of our emphasis and $10 billion in our obsession with an Iraqi policy that is not working. What Obama wants to do is take them out as safely and securely as possible. This is why he went to Iraq, to talk to our commanders, to talk to our troops, to see how we can do it. And he will take the combat troops out. He will leave some troops in for security, but then use diplomacy to try to end this war.
Speaking of this diplomacy, and you mentioned the Prime Minister, why is it, this coming from Josh in Lakewood, why is it that when we help nations establish new governments like Iraq, we don't use our 3-branch system of government? Instead, we use a parliamentary style where the executive branch has no real power, he says, and the Prime Minister acts as a member of the legislature.
Well, that's a very good question, and it's a good question because what Iraq is going to have to do is set up political reconciliation in that country, a new political structure that gives the Sunni, the Shia, the Kurds political power. It's shared. They share the oil revenue they have. But they may want a presidential system. And this is something that the United States and the Iraqis should work together to negotiate. If we're going to get out of the war in Iraq, we need to leave a strong, solid government in Iraq that is democratic. And right now, this parliamentary system is basically a weak system and should probably change to a stronger executive system.
A lot of political ads running in Colorado, one of the key swing states, and you know that, money being spent. Yolanda of Englewood wants to know, recently an ad has been showing blaming Obama and other Democrats for the rising cost of fuel by the McCain campaign. What would your response to this ad be if you were running as his vice president?
Well, first, I want to be careful about answering as his vice president. I think this is Senator Obama's choice, and he hasn't made it. But I would say that is false. It's the Bush administration McCain policies that have gotten into this mess. And what Obama wants to do is reduce gas prices by having a comprehensive policy that cracks down on speculators, that possibly uses the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in a responsible way, that has investigations of price gouging, but also has a comprehensive policy, more renewable energy, more mass transit, fuel efficiency in vehicles, 50 miles per gallon, more investments in biofuels and biodiesel, and drilling responsibly. We can drill in a responsible way in New Mexico, in Colorado, in the West. But instead, the oil companies have 68 million leases of acres that they haven't drilled in. They'd rather drill in Saudi Arabia. We have to make that shift. Now, I'm not talking about mandating the oil companies, but it has to be a cooperative effort, and the president has to lead this effort. This is where Obama, I believe, can talk to industry, he can talk to Republicans and Democrats and make things happen. This is what he's good at, bringing people together.
I couldn't help but notice the grin a little while ago. So John in Westminster wants to know, and a lot of people are wondering, would you accept if he asked you as vice president?
I'm not seeking it, but I would do everything I could to help Senator Obama. It'd be a singular honor, but I'm happy as governor of New Mexico. But this is his choice, and, that's something you think about a lot lately.
If not VP, John also wants to know what cabinet position. You've already done energy. What would be next?
I wouldn't do that again. I don't know. I love foreign policy, but I'm not suggesting anything. We just got to get this man elected. I'll help any way I can to get him elected. And then beyond that, there's an opportunity. I want to help this country, but I'm not pining for anything. I'm happy as governor of New Mexico. I'm like you. I live in the West. I wake up to the sun and the mountains and the clean air. Well, hopefully clean air.
And as governor, you have this special session coming up, and you said there's a chance you may not make this DMC. So what if he asks you, I want you to be my running mate, then what? Do you have to bow out of this and go to the DMC? You have to make a choice, sir.
Well, what I said was we're going to have a special session that starts 10 days before the Democratic Convention. And that's my prime responsibility as governor of New Mexico, in a special session where we're going to give tax relief and rebates back to our taxpayers. Our economy is in good shape. Our taxpayers are hurting with high gas prices. And so that's my primary responsibility. But special sessions don't last very long. Legislators don't like to be in session very long unless it's a regular session. So I anticipate it'll be over. But I have said that if it's still in session, my first job is governor.
Even if we don't see you at the DNC, Governor Richardson, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Thanks.